Welcome back. The Chief Operating Officer of Carsales.com to sum up the company's profit story and to tell us what lies ahead for the company is Cameron McIntyre. And he joins us from our Melbourne studio. Thanks for coming in, Cameron.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for having me. Nice to be here.
OK, so just for people who might have missed it, just sum up what you thought were the high points of your report last week.
Yeah, no, look, we had a pleasing result. Our top line was up 11%. We up to $167 million. Our earnings, we delivered $82 million of earnings, which was up 12%, which was great. Domestically, the business keeps going from strength to strength. So our private and dealer business both performed really well. Our finance business, which is largely Stratton Finance, grew very healthily, up 17%, which was excellent, and they benefited from being plugged into the Carsales network. And then, of course, all of our offshore stuff. We bought a business in Mexico late last year, which has performed well, and the guys in Brazil and South Korea have also had a good last 6 months, both delivering top-line growth of double-digit numbers, which overall was very pleasing.
OK, so I'm going to get my team to put up your share price over the last year, and I know it's pretty good news for you. A bit of a sell-off in January when everyone copped it, but you've rebounded nicely. What has been the main drivers of your profits that have also resulted in a very good share price reaction?
Yeah, no, look, I think it's a number of things, Peter. It's the continued ongoing success of our core business and delivering new initiatives to our customers month in, month out has been pleasing. Our adjacent market plays into the likes of finance with Stratton. We bought a fantastic little business in middle of last year called Auto Inspect, which is performing really, really well for us. So those sorts of adjacent markets have performed well. And then you've got all the offshore stuff. So South Korea going from strength to strength, and it's a good long-term play. Those markets like South Korea and Brazil, they're significantly larger markets in Australia. So, from our perspective, if we can leverage the IP and technology that we've created here in Australia into those markets, we think we've got some really good long-term opportunities in those markets.
Are you getting a positive tailwind from the currency?
Look, I mean, it works against you and it works with you. Obviously, things aren't going so well in Brazil at the moment, which is potentially problematic for some. But for us, it's good it's okay because we've still got the structural migration from the traditional media forms into online. So we're quite well insulated from some of those changes. South Korean won has performed okay. So yeah, the Brazilian currency, the real, has come off quite a bit, which we all know. But we're in this for the long term, not the short term. So it's not a problem from our perspective.
So tell us what's actually happening in the domestic market. What are your rivals? Are your rivals increasing in number, or are they shrinking? And your biggest rival, what is it doing to try and pull you back?
Look, I mean, we've got lots of competitors. I'd describe us as a paranoid business. We're always conscious of who's entering the market and who's not. So look, day to day, we're concentrating on doing our own thing and focused on all the things that we want to get into market. And there's so many opportunities out there for us as a business to leverage. But the competition is there. It will always exist. It's a competitive market, and we don't mind it. It keeps us honest. It keeps us focused on the end result. So. It's all good.
Okay, now what about the fact that you're talking about you add the finance business to your operation? Are there other bolt-on businesses that you can see are going to keep improving the bottom line?
Yeah, look, absolutely. I remember you and Greg talking about tyre sales in August, and tyre sales is a fantastic adjacent business for us. It's a growing business. You know, it's a huge market in Australia. The tyre market's a $5 billion market, and we see that as something that we can participate in, and we've seen substantial growth there over the last couple of years, and we think that will continue. You know, finance with Stratton and others, we bought into a business called RateSetter, which is peer-to-peer finance inside the last 9 to 12 months, and that's heading in the right direction too. Our inspection business, we think that's got great synergy with car buyers and car sellers. You know, people want to ensure that the car that they're purchasing or selling is in good mechanical condition, and so those sorts of opportunities exist for us, and we think that they're really synergistic with what we do in the core.
It seems to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we're moving into a stage where second-hand cars are not quite as popular as they used to be, and new cars are being bought at a rate of knots. Are you well positioned in the new car market for that kind of new age car market?
Yeah, no, look, there's the new cars have been performing really well. You know, January is always a good month for new car sales, and we saw that again this year. Last year, as you'd probably know, you know, we had a record new car sales volume up to close to 1.2 million new cars, which was great. But you know, when someone buys a new car, someone's selling a used car, and car sales, we benefit from both sides of the trade. So we've seen you know, car buying and car selling continue to grow and expand in the used car market as well.
Cameron, thanks for joining us on the show, and well done.
No worries. Thank you, Peter. Thanks for having me.